about Stuck in the Middle.
Mm.
How did you started doing this on TikTok? Why TikTok?
Well, I started doing it on TikTok just because my brother and Gary Vee, which is like some motivational speaker, he started telling me about it,
Yeah,
and
they're
like, hey, you should just try your music on this new platform. And this was back in 2020 when it was like very fresh, so that was me just being really open to suggestion. And then after I started promoting it, I saw like an immediately a connection. And then once it connected, I just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And then it never really was like an overnight thing. It was like, okay, maybe it's getting 10,000 streams a day, then 20,000 streams a day. And then it kept growing and growing. Um, and that's how it really started. And now I'm here, you
yeah,
know.
I know. It was
Yeah.
a quick start, right?
Yeah, it was a quick start, but in reality, it wasn't so quick because I had been doing music for like 3 years with no one noticing. But this TikTok really just accelerated, like the platform of TikTok. It really connected me to an audience that I wasn't finding before.
Right.
You know.
And do you feel comfortable with like dealing with a strategy
Mm.
yourself, like a marketing strategy, being an
Mm.
artist too?
Yeah, because here's the thing: like when I went to college for business.
Yeah, what did you do?
Um, it was an entrepreneurship school called Babson College,
Mm-hmm.
and it was all about like running your own business. And I was a terrible student, so don't like. It's not like I was like a straight A's or anything like that. But I did want to run a business, and technically every artist to me is a business.
Mm-hmm.
So I just have my creative part of my brain, like when I'm in the studio making music, I usually keep it as organic as possible to me,
Yeah.
not really trying to find an audience. But then once I have all my songs ready and I have a package or an album, then I'm like, okay, flip the switch in my head. Let's market this thing now,
Mm-hmm.
because I like marketing,
Of course. But
Yeah.
when did you make that click that you could put the two things together?
I think I was doing it all the time because I was always interested in like putting myself on the internet. Like even when I was like really young, I would like film myself playing piano and then put it on Instagram or put it on like Facebook or something like that. Um, I would do like talent shows and stuff like. So I was always trying to push my, I not really push it, but just like show people that like, hey, I make music, I like this,
Mm-hmm. And do you think that is something generational, like being
Mm.
Gen Z?
Uh, I don't know. I think I just was always super into the internet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know some other people, like some of my friends. I'm 25. Some of my other friends have kind of given up on
Yeah.
internet already, and they're just like, I don't even want to put myself on it anymore. Blah blah blah. This, that, and the other thing. But I love it. I really do like putting myself out there because I don't really care what people think.
Right.
I honestly don't think opinions are real. You can't hold them, can't touch it. So you just go do whatever you want.
So you don't mind like good opinions or bad opinions?
Yeah, because the good opinions don't really mean anything. You still got to put out another album. Like I'm thinking about putting out 10 albums in my career. Like I don't want to. I have the next 4 albums planned out that I already want to put out. I know the colors of the cover art. I know the names of them. Like I know what's gonna happen next.
Mm-hmm.
So I have like a goal going forward. So it's not like one person saying, "Oh, this is bad." Then it's just that they don't have the full picture like I do. And even if they think it's bad, I don't really care. When you put art up on a museum, it still
Mm-hmm.
hangs in the museum no matter what.
Yeah. And which are your influences for having a career
Mm.
like so focused and a big plan?
Yeah, I think that the biggest thing that excites me is like longevity, like people who have long careers.
Yeah.
So like when you see like a Childish Gambino or even someone of a different genre like Miley Cyrus, who's constantly switching genres and constantly like innovating themselves and like really diving into their artistry and like doing photo shoots and like in that genre and like showing people that they have other interests as well. That's the big thing for me because I want to be doing this for a long time. It's my favorite thing to do.
Are you excited that there's a possibility of meeting her?
Yeah, I mean, I saw her at Lollapalooza in America,
Yeah.
and she was amazing. And Malibu is one of my favorite songs. And when she played it, I kind of had like an experience. I lifted off the ground. I think I was floating.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, maybe I'll meet her. I hopefully, if she's like walking around, I'll definitely go up to her and be like, "Yo, respect you so much." You
And
know.
what about your influences in LA
Mm.
or in Cali? What about, I don't know, Hot Future?
Tyler the Creator was like a big thing for like a lot of my friends, and I just think that I love his creativity, like
Mm-hmm.
making music for himself. That's the thing is I do. I just try to make art, and then after I make the art that I think expresses who I am,
Yeah.
then you go out and you flip it and you go have a brand like, you know, Tyler the Creator does, like golf, and you do all these things. Like, the big thing is just like keeping it together, keeping it you, and not letting anybody influence you, and then marketing yourself to the people, and that's how you can have longevity, I think.
More about album, like which
Mhm.
ones were like the themes, the songs.
Hmm. Oh, the last one. So TV was my first like debut album,
Yeah, TV.
and it was a story of my life in chronological order. So if you listen to the album from song 1 to song 13, it talks about me dropping out of the college that I was talking about. Um,
Dropout.
yeah, exactly. Basically that. Dropping out of college, I felt alone. I met a girl, and then we like broke up. Like, that's where Stuck in the Middle comes in. And then at the end of all the problems that I experienced, like growing up, you feel a-okay at the end, and that's like I have a positive perspective on life about like, no matter what happens, I'm gonna be, you know, okay. And the theme of the whole album is just, you know, trying to get people, like, if they listen to every single song, you kind of have a idea of who I am. And that's why with this next album called HDTV, they're going to even like a more high definition look about who I am, diving into like the relationship aspect of my life, you know.
Okay, what do you think that changed between like high definition and the
Hmm.
first album?
I think I just met a lot more people, and I got better at what I like. The first album is out of the first 30 songs that I ever made, you know, because I'm still pretty fresh in this game. The second album is out of the first like 150 songs I've made, and I'm working with a lot more people. I'm working with, not that everyone's made the album, but I've worked with over probably like 50 producers just to see like other songwriters I've been in session with, seeing how they work, seeing what works for me, seeing what doesn't work for me, and just compiling an album that I think I'm really proud of for this next one. Because the first one was just like, here's who I am. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. And this next one is like, here's a really good look of what I think I am with this HD TV, you know.
Great. And where this ride like took you to which places or people have you met? Like
Mm.
it's been like a short ride,
Mm.
but like what can you tell me has happened until till now?
I've just been I'm so lazy. I would never travel. I would never travel. Like, I just I was so stuck up on making it, like being successful, that usually happens like where I'm at, you know, in my room, at work, in the studio, whatever. But having this music make me go out and like internationally,
Yeah.
be in Argentina right now. This is crazy. This is wild, and I love music because of that. I've done other things in my life. I've done modeling. I've done like acting. I've done basketball. I used to play basketball in college.
You had a
Yeah, exactly. And I went all over America with that, with those things. But like, this is a whole new thing. Yeah, I traveled the world with my family, and that's what I'm super super happy that my family gave me that perspective of like, there's other places besides the United States.
Yeah.
I've been to like Switzerland and Germany and Alaska and like random places, Hawaii. But now coming here as like an artist and like seeing people connect with me that don't even speak natively my English language, it's kind of beautiful. That's why I really like music. It connects people.
Right.
It's human.
And what do your parents do for a living?
So my dad works in cars. He works at Toyota, and my mom is a substitute teacher.
Ah,
Yeah, so
both in LA?
yeah, both in LA. Oh, well, my dad's in Seattle, but he used to work in LA, and now he's in Seattle.
Okay, cool. And what has been the hardest part of being famous, well known?
I honestly don't think I'm famous because
Kind of what
yeah,
is
yeah.
on social media?
Yeah, I think that it's all for me right now. It's still a lot of appearances. I get stopped in the streets sometimes, and people say like, "Yo, I like your music," but it's not like I'm Billie Eilish to where I can't walk down the street. You know what I'm saying? So, and I also was on like reality television for when I first started off my like industry career when I was 21,
Yeah.
and I've had people stopping me in the streets for a while, so I'm kind of used to,
Yeah.
you know, I guess that fame. But I think that there's obviously there's levels to it, and this new level that I'm at with this music, it feels very genuine, and it feels like when I meet the people that want to talk to me, that we're connecting and we're like already friends, because I know that I, love my music and they also love my music. So we already got something in common, you know what I'm saying? So it's
you don't
good.
feel any pressure from the industry. It's just chill.
I think I'm also 26.
Yes.
And I'm not like an 18. Like some of these TikTok artists that are coming out right now are like 17, 18, and like still figuring out who they are as people. I obviously still am too, but I'm way farther in the progression. Like, when you were 18 compared to when you were 26, like that's a big, like it's harder for people to tell you something, especially if you have like an artistic decision that you want to make. Maybe somebody at a label, if I was 18, would be like, I like this song compared to this song, and I let them sway me. But here, I have an actual like art project that I love, and if there's a suggestion, I don't really listen to anyone, because I know that I'm selling myself. I'm not selling anyone else's ideas. This is my idea. Exactly.
And what about the pieces of advice that you get from producers, songwriters?
Yeah. I think that when
How do you do to negotiate?
so because I like co-produce like everything that I make, it's I like making music with my friends, So if we're having a good time and everyone's jumping around in the studio, like that means we made something good, and that's like the whole point of this thing, is that we're having fun. Yeah, exactly. Trusting the vibes, even if it's a sad song, like even if it's like the most sad lyric, we're all like, yeah, we did it. Like we just made a song, you know what I'm saying? Because the song is a little magical 3 to 2 minutes, that can be a little form of escapism for a lot of people who are having a bad time. So I just want to, I needed that when I was going through a lot of stuff when I was growing up. So it's great to provide that.
Which songs were you listening to when you needed
Yeah, I think Kid Cudi was great. Kanye was great. Childish Gambino again was great. Like I listened to Andre 3000. Oh, I listened to all of Kanye's albums. I listened to all of Childish Gambino's albums. I listened to every single Man on the Moon album from Kid Cudi. But like, I'm a person that if I like an artist, I listen to every single album. If you had to ask me specifically, I think the first.
Kanye?
Yeah, with Kanye, it was like Graduation, Late Registration, and College Dropout for me are great. But then I also really like The Life of Pablo too, and Ye. So it's hard for me to make a decision, because I really go in there and I'm trying to like, what is he trying to tell me right now with his position in life? I love that type of stuff.
Yeah, like kind of Tyler's, not last album, but before Igor. It's also like a coming of age.
Exactly, and I love when people are vulnerable enough to show their progression, and that's what I kind of want to like. That's what I'm trying to mold myself after, is someone who can make a song, and then afterwards you know them better after you've made the song, rather than being like, love is hard, love is bad. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's not the type of song that I want to make.
Right. Feel more comfortable sharing like your vulnerability or doing happy songs?
To be honest, I don't make a lot of happy music. I think my music, the vibe of every beat that I like produce, I want to have a nice pocket. Like that's what gets me going, is a song that has a groove to it, whether it's melancholy, sad, happy, whatever. But because of AOK's success, everyone has been like, oh, this guy is the most positive guy, the positive artist, whatever. And I love the attention it's gotten. But I think that if anyone who's listened to my album, like I have songs that are just like me doing like spoken word. Like my first song on the first album is just like a spoken word thing about me dropping out. You know what I'm saying? It's not the happiest. I have songs about like called I Deserve to Be Alone, where it's like I think I deserve to be alone in that moment. They're all fleeting moments, that I create into songs. Like it's not that I feel positive all the time, but I mostly feel positive, and that's what comes through in my music, I think, along with these productions that I'm creating. I'm trying to get people to like feel something, whether it's a little bit of sadness, happiness, or whatever. What comes to me the most naturally is inspiration from a beat, though. Like when a producer makes something really cool, that's what is the easiest to make. Do you know how many beats I've gotten sent after AOK that have been like, this is a feel-good summer song? I got the most beats out of every artist probably in 2021. And it's not like all those are inspiring to me, because that's not how I feel all the time, And with this new album, there is like some, stuff that feels up, and there's stuff that feels down. So, because that's what a person is, no one's happy all the time.
When did you start making hectic.
Mm.
Got your side job.
Yeah,
Side
man.
horizon.
The end of September, you know,
Okay.
of 2020. Yeah, exactly. And I remember it because I called my boss. I put it on TikTok, the moment on TikTok, and I quit my job and I went home and I was like, man, the only thing I have to do tomorrow is go to the studio and make music. Or I had to do a photo shoot, or I had to do an interview. And I think that I would do that a million times over more than go to a 9 to 5. And that's another reason why I'm like pushing so hard to do what I do now, is because I have the perspective of someone who has worked something that they didn't want to do.
Yeah.
Multiple jobs. I was like an intramural volleyball referee on the beach. And
Before.
yeah, before. So I'd go to the beach and like you guys would have a game and I'd be like, no, this is out and this is in. And I keep score.
Tell me all your jobs you've been in. Like
Yeah,
referee.
yes, I was a referee. I used to sell sunglasses, and they were like it's called Gentle Monster, this like luxury Asian brand, and I would like stand in a black shirt every single day. I worked at Verizon, obviously. What else did I do? Man, I would.
Model.
Yeah, I did modeling. I was like a Nike model for a little bit, and that was really cool. I did stand-up comedy, and that was
Were you good?
so. I didn't realize that it's like a progression, right? They start you off with like auditioning, and then you get a 3-minute slot, and then you get a 5-minute slot, and then you get a 10-minute slot, and then you get the 30 minutes. I only made it to 5 minutes, and then I didn't like people not laughing at me. Like it's so hard. It's so hard to like you write a new joke. And the way that you test jokes as a comedian is you go in and you tell a joke and you see if people laugh. And if they don't laugh, then you're like, maybe I write a new joke. But you don't know, like, but it could be the same joke, but tinkered a little bit, could make it hit a little bit more.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I like to work on my songs for as long as I need to work on them and then release them and feel like they're ready, compared to like trying out a joke halfway and then having people stare at me like I'm stupid or something like that. That's not my thing. But some people love that.
I've been reading about you saying that you use TikTok
Yeah.
as a way of storytelling.
Yeah.
Why do you think like people should use social media as storytellers?
I think you should only do things if you want to do them. I know that every artist is like being pressured right now to use TikTok or use social media to be like, if you want to grow, but that's only if you want to grow. Like only use it if you're complaining. Like if you're complaining about how big the shows that you're playing is or how big you are as an artist, then yeah, go on TikTok and try to storytell, because people don't want to listen to music from anyone that they don't know. You know, like the reason why I listen to Chance the Rapper is because I know that he like dropped out of school. He had like a 10-day suspension, and then he named his first album 10 Day. And then like in Acid Rap, he's talking about his like drug usage and stuff like that. And I just know the story of every single album. That's what happens with my favorite artists. So if you think that you could be someone's favorite artist, you have to have a story to tell with each album. You can't just release a single and be like, this is my hot single, let's get it on the radio. That's not really what's going to create a fan base. You have to show people your story. Like it's not really even about music at that point. It's about telling people who you are.
Yeah, so you're saying also that today is much more important, not just the music, but also like creating community.
Yeah, creating a community. Like with my fans right now, like they put TV emojis under my pictures and stuff like that because they're like a part of the TV show. Like I always say, like each song that I create is like an episode of TV, you know, of my life. So that's the big thing I've been working on right now, is creating community. And I think that puts you in a different level of artist than, you know, just somebody who has a song. Yeah.
Amazing. And what should like what piece of advice could you give another creators, not just musicians but artists, with the use of social media, but also with their artist strategy? What do you think?
I think just make content that feels organic and don't try to be anything that you're not. Like if you see someone else doing something that you want to be like copy it and then make it your own, because that's what I did. I saw someone else singing in my car and singing in their car, and then I sang in my car, and then I made it I said my own words. I sang my own song, and also get to the point. Whenever you're trying to talk about something, either tell your story right away. Don't give any preface. Don't give any preface for your song. Don't give any preface for your art. Your art is your art. You don't have to like make exceptions. Like, you're only going to like this if you like this. If you like this genre, you're going to like me. Like, no. Just put your art out, literally show it, be like, here every single day. And I bet people will find it, because we have the tools now that people can find your art with TikTok, with Instagram Reels, with YouTube Shorts. Everyone can find you. So just put your art up, and then people will come do it. But you got to raise your hand and do it, you know?
And be yourself. Be original.
Yeah, and be original. And it's really hard to wake up every day and say, I'm going to be original today. So I think it's more about like putting up your camera and saying like, this is what I'm feeling right now, and trying to have the endurance of being consistent with posting.